I still have to film in the Hamptons. That might be Harley. That might be the guy who housed me in New York. I'm just going to assume it is. If it is, what's up, buddy? I think it's Harley, yeah. Harley. Harley's a fucking man. He is the advertising man who took me in once I refused to stay with the room on, gave me a kick-ass apartment to sleep in, showed me a great time around the city. He's a supporter of this channel. He's salt of the earth. Well, I don't know if you can be an advertising executive and be salt of the earth. You got to be picking fruit and tilling soil to be a salt of the earth guy. Give me one more question while you're setting this up, you bastard.
You don't have an SD card in your camera, someone throw them in it?
Give me a question.
They wouldn't let me donate 420. How do you spend your 420? How do you spend your 420?
How did I? I'm going to pull up my calendar on my phone, and I'm going to tell you exactly how I spent my 420 right now.
Recording the podcast with me. Pretty sure.
On Monday, we recorded a podcast with Austin where Austin's equipment malfunctioned and deleted everything we'd done. I smoked no weed. I went for a run. I jerked off a couple times. And I recorded a podcast that was for naught. That's what I did. Are you good over there, Austy Pops? We got video feed again?
Within a couple seconds.
Within a few seconds, I'm hearing. You're going to be able to see my face.
Because there's a delay.
Do we have video feed?
Almost.
We're in my back room. Austin and I, 2 days ago, hastily slapped up some soundproof foam. And we have audio, I'm hearing. What's behind me? I need a question. I'm struggling right now. I'm flailing for a life preserver.
I love you, Danny. What's your favorite YouTuber? From Max Kosh.
Gotta say it. Nelk. The guys who supported me. Other YouTube channels I like. It's not that exciting. NFL. There's this channel. I forget what they're called right now, and I want to give them some cred. That do this episode called Beef History, or this series called Beef History. SB Nation. It's a sports channel. I've been into sports. I like the competitive side of them. Football. I like watching football. I like how much pressure there is on those guys and how high the stakes are. It makes me feel like being a YouTuber is pussy shit in comparison, and I like taking my job less seriously. I'm looking at the wrong camera. I gotta look over here now.
Joseph McNeil said, I will pay money for a Sam Hyde collab. And a lot of people were also saying that in the chat as well.
Is he a YouTuber? If he's a YouTuber, I'm down. I thought he was a comedian. I thought he had a writing job or he did stand-up in New York. And if there's money on the table, I'm sure Sammy Boy is willing to listen.
And then Harley sent another donation just without a message.
Fuck yeah. Harley's the man, dude. I gotta come out and see Harley in New York again.
Crazy Jat 24 said, hey Danny, big fan. Question. A girl has me friend zoned but doesn't let me go. Tells me she doesn't want to lose me. We hang out a bunch. She's perfect. I don't want to move on either. What should I do?
It's the answer that you know is the correct one, but that you're too afraid to face. So you gotta move on, dude. You gotta do it. When I got dumped by my first serious girlfriend in college, my first year at UCLA, I was so devastated. Another one of my cryy moments. I left my frat house, hiked up to the top of the campus hill, went to the Murphy Sculpture Garden, I think it's called. We filmed there in a lot of videos. The blackface video we filmed there. Cried my fucking eyes out for 20, 30 minutes and then just walked back to my house. Had to get away from all the judgmental frat bros. And it sucked. And I would have taken that girl back at any opportunity. But it was a good thing she dumped me. I was clingy in the relationship. It was during my I want to be a lawyer phase, but I didn't really want to be a lawyer, so I had no self-confidence. She was fed up with me because my self-worth was dependent on her and our relationship, and I didn't have anything else to do with my free time. So it wouldn't have worked even if she didn't cut it off. Right now is not working for you. You're like what I would have been if my relationship would have gone on for a few months, and it ain't healthy, buddy. So, you're going to have to be disciplined. Not only are you going to tell her you can't see her, but you're not going to take her calls. You're not going to follow her on Instagram anymore. You're going to block her on Instagram, in fact. And you're going to have to trust that I'm telling you the truth, that it's the right move, dude. It's going to take a lot of discipline, and it's going to suck. But people don't migrate out of the friend zone. Unless you win the lottery, become the guitarist in a famous rock band, and your cock gets 3 inches thicker, she's not going to come out of the friend zone. You got to move on. Next question.
Cassidy Campbell said, "Here's your lunch money."
Cassidy Campbell's here?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. What's up? We're talking about favorite YouTubers. Cassidy Campbell's another one of the guys who's out there ruthless. Talks a lot of shit on things he doesn't like in the community. I respect that. And he's out there getting real footage and pissing people off. And he's financially smart, too. That's what I like about him. He's one of those guys who's mentor-ish to me. He's a good dude.
Tyler Shea. Oh, wait, I already answered that one. Oh, yeah, I was scrolling the wrong way. My bad.
Come on, Austin. It's crunch time now. It's fourth quarter. We got to finish strong.
2K Cheesin 123. You're a beauty. Give me a kiss.
I'm going to see how this looks on this new camera.
I Hate Humans said, "Will we see a Fan Jerry, Inland Iggy, and Rat Dick collab? Those three on shrooms would be amazing."
Yeah, it's going to be at San Quentin State Penitentiary. It's the only way I can do the collab with a Rat Dick. I'm sorry.
You just prison dox him?
I don't think he's at San Quentin. That's reserved for very violent people.
Carson Oates. If you've seen those iPhone survey ads on Snapchat, those are mine. Sorry, not sorry. They are making me money.
I think he just wanted to get something off his chest. It didn't have anything to do with me, but okay. You can go rapid fire over there, Austin.
Okay. Danny Mullen, you're my idol, man. Gotta ask for Kiwi boys in the chat. What are your thoughts on New Zealand?
Love it. Love New Zealand. I like the Lord of the Rings, and that's the only fact I know about your sliver of land off the coast of Australia.
What are your... Oh, sorry.
No, you're okay.
Okay.
I was going to say something stupid about Frodo. I wasn't going to get any more intelligent.
What are your thoughts on Kurt Vonnegut and Norm Macdonald?
Love Norm Macdonald. Norm Macdonald's 2 stand-up specials that are accessible. Me doing stand-up and Hitler's Dog are fantastic. Some of the best stand-up I've ever seen. And, of course, he's a goddamn genius on every radio show he does. I like the old-timey jokes he'll do on Conan. There's this guy, Buddy Hackett, from back in the day, who would tell these long, drawn-out stories that just all led up to a single punchline, and they'd eat up 4 or 5 minutes of show. Norm Macdonald does that, too. I think he's great. He doesn't give a shit. Love him. I haven't read any Kurt Vonnegut. I started Slaughterhouse-5, or whatever it's called, and I didn't finish it. I'm not that literary, guys. I'm sorry.
Baby. What happened in the Top Notch Idiots video with the gun?
That was faked. And I came out there with them, and I liked that guy, Opto. He was super nice. He did a prank on me at UCLA, and it was legit. And then we did a couple pranks that day that were legit. And at that point, I had 8,000 subscribers, and they had hundreds of thousands, so I wasn't in any position to speak up. And they drove to their buddy's house in South Central. And I thought still, we were going to get one of these guys who was really hood, and we were going around pranking real people, and the video was going to continue to be legit. And then they set up, and before I really knew what was going on, the head guys in the crew had arranged to stage a gun thing with this dude, and they wanted me to run. And yeah, I've always been insecure about that. I never wanted that to come up, but I ran from a fake gun in a prank that I knew was fake at that point. So yeah.
You fake pranks, Danny.
I faked that. I fucking faked a prank, yeah. I was complicit in a fake prank.
IV not recruiting. Do you listen to metal/slam/death, etc., or do you plan on blessing Ohio anytime soon?
I'd be down for Ohio. No offense to you, but I'm sure there are some shittiest towns in America out there. Cleveland, Dayton, Columbus. Just name all the big ones. They all suck. Don't even get me started on the small ones. I was into metal in high school because it was cool, and that was the way to get laid. I listen to Slayer when I write. Their big 4 albums, too. They have the same thing with the Rolling Stones going on. They got the 4 canonical albums. Other than that, I'm not a huge metal guy. I guess the guy who founded death metal, he's in a band called Possessed. I think I'm getting that right. He's one of the pioneers of the genre, Austin. He follows the channel and is a big fan, so...
Wow, that's cool.
I got to have some respect for the genre.
My dad, big metalhead. I've gone to a lot of metal concerts.
Oh, I hope there aren't any naughty words, because that'd upset your Christian mom. Next question.
Longtime Patreon supporter. Oh, okay. So we already caught up to those. I'll just read some of the lower value ones. Okay, no, not that one. Jacob.
I will face fuck you. What?
Well, actually, no. This is a decent. Okay, he said Fafa. He said, I will film for you if you were in the UK. I misread it at first.
Okay, so I don't have to fly Nico's ass over. That's good. We talked about that earlier, how expensive that would be.
Jacob, I was the second wiener alcohol comment. Okay.
You got to use your filter over there, Austin. Was that necessary to read aloud?
No, sorry. That was
Did the internet need to hear about the second wiener alcohol comment?
I thought it said I was the second winner, like he was part of a contest you had or something. Okay, will you be, this is from Alex Wooten, will you be getting a future video with Kiana, 2020 contest winner? By the way, I love your stuff, and you never cease to make me laugh, bro. Love.
Fuck yeah, man. And yes, we talked about that earlier. We're trying to get that. I'm lying. We haven't tried at all. I intend to do that video at some point. I want it to happen. Kiana, the winner of the hottest fan contest. Thanks for watching the channel, dude.
Brandon Faliki, he asked, qualifications to get into the Danny Mullen crew.
They aren't very high. Know somebody I know, be around on a day we're filming, or, as with Rat Dick Ralph, you got to get in with people other than me, because I'm at the point now where so many of my comments are just spam and hate comments. I don't read them. I don't read my messages. But Fan Jerry, Leo, and Inland Iggy still read all their messages. So if you message them, you got a lazy eye or a peg leg or something, I'm going to be interested. And that's that.
Yeah, I mean, for myself, I became friends with Leo just going to his comedy shows.
Yeah, exactly. That's how Rat Dick got in, too. Yeah, that hurts me to admit to that fake prank thing with Top Notch. I couldn't believe that. It was like sprung on me, and I just moved down to L.A., and I fucking went along with it. I feel bad.
Guilty conscience.
Yeah, I do have a guilty conscience about that. I can assure you people that nothing we've done in any of our videos is fake, though. Well, I mean, we don't even film pranks that are really fakeable.
No. Just talking shit to people in public.
I certainly didn't pay Fenn to throw that rock at my car in Slab City.
Ryan T, Danny, are you worried that when you become more mainstream, you might get backlash from the political correct / extreme left people?
Yeah, but I think they'll realize that I'm apolitical and there's no real messages of hate in any of my stuff. I tell jokes, and jokes are offensive. I target everybody, though, based on economic status, skin color. If you have a limp, it all gets hit. And I think people with a brain will realize that. And the backlash I'll get is just going to be some angry people shouting at me on Twitter. I do think it's going to be hard for me to ever get any mainstream jobs. I don't think I'm going to be able to host a Comedy Central roast, for instance. I don't think I'm going to get offered a show on Comedy Central because you can pull up a video of me offering a chick cigarettes to show her titties because I'm drinking my piss for the entire way home from Sacramento. Things like that. I might have tarnished my mainstream ability. But I don't think I'm going to get canceled. I don't believe you can get canceled if you don't care, and I don't care.
The white Asian YT and...
All Asians are white unless they're from Thailand or somewhere really undesirable inland.
And Jack Gresson are asking if you would come to Rhode Island.
Yeah, the smallest state in the Union. The smallest state in America. There's a show potential there. Sure.
Can you get Danny Duncan on the podcast from Ty Banhart?
Maybe. He's a busy guy, but it's not impossible. Him and I talk quite a bit.
It'd be entertaining.
That's a fucking businessman right there. He's another one of those guys who's sharp and teaches me shit. He's helped me this year a lot. Merchandising, Patreon, not doing shitty ad deals. He's had a lot of good advice for me. That's one thing he's always told me is don't do shitty brand deals. And I've tried to avoid that. I've done one for an essay writing company because they let me write jokes about Oscar Wilde sucking cock, and I thought that was funny, so I did it.
Real Sears said, "Hey Danny, I go to Sacramento State. Can we do a skit there maybe? I need a reason to stay in Sac. P.S. Camera guy is not racist."
Sound guy. I don't like the word skit, first of all. Skit reminds me of like a chick who lives in the hype house, a TikTok girl. Oh, we're doing a comedy skit. You be the mailman, and I'll be the slutty girl in the yoga pants, and we'll flirt, and we'll put on a pop song. I don't like the word skit. Sac State, I don't know, man. I'll try. If I'm there and you somehow get in contact with me again, you could be in the video. Come out to fan meetups, people. If you're out, come out to a fan meetup, and I'm sure I'll do one in Sac soon. Everybody gets to be in the video. It's just a matter of showing up.
Canuck said, "You're my second favorite comedian after Sam Hyde. Just felt like telling you to keep it up."
People love Sam Hyde. If I'm in second place to this guy, I suppose I have to look him up.
What's your worst date you've ever had? And that's from Could You Tell I'm Shell.
I have a story about this, and I've been thinking about it a lot recently. I met the girl at a house party, and I think it's the house of the chick who told me I had a small cock at the high school reunion. I don't know why I was there. She didn't hate me at that point, and I didn't hate her yet, so that's why. There's a Russian girl there who's got her tits pressed up into the stratosphere. I like that. I start talking to her. We flirt a little bit. I get her number. We agree to hang out in the future. She meets me in downtown Sacramento. We have the every month is worth $5 a month. And if there was a $1 tier, everybody would sign up for that tier. And I do need money to keep the content rolling out as strong as it's been lately. My rent here is about $1,500 a month with bills. I got to pay cameramen, editors, podcast producers, get props. For the next video we have coming up after this Edward Fortyhands in quarantine, I think I've got $500 sunk into it off Amazon props already. Not even mentioning cameramen, gas. Shit gets expensive, dude. So this does need to be a business, especially since I don't make any money on AdSense. That's why the tier is $5.
William Hinson is asking for a refresher on what the Darkest Moments was about because they joined late.
Of course. Basically, I got fired from my job in San Francisco. I was mooching off my parents. I'd been writing at that point for 4 years without any success, without any real fan base. And I felt like a failure. I felt like my day job / career was failed because I'd been fired from a restaurant and I was now a part-time on-call busboy. My artistic life was a failure because nobody cared about the comedy I was writing. I was writing books at that point. I'd been dumped by my girlfriend for freaking out because she'd banged a guy with a gigantic cock. I had nothing going on in my life at all, and after several months of that, I was watching a documentary one night where Ali Boulala, an ex-pro skater, was talking about how after he accidentally killed his friend on a moped, he was driving it drunk and his friend fell off and died. He moved back to where he was from, and one day after going to his dad's work and working with his dad, because that's the only employment he could get, he went out to his car afterwards and thought to himself, I'm either going to check myself into a psych ward or I'm going to drive my car off a cliff because I don't want to live right now. And I related to those words so much in that moment that I just started crying. And that was the lowest point I think I've ever had in my life. It was the bottom of the market. It was the October 29, 1929. When was Black Monday? When was that? Or Black whenever? This shows how unknowledgeable I actually am about history. I was going to look it up, but it's okay. Maybe Austin can look that up, but he's busy looking up questions. I'm going to find that. Next question.
Okay, I got to scroll back down. I caught up.
Let me slide out of that fucking so uncomfortably. Black Monday. Look that up.
Have you ever shat your pants in public?
Yes, and I'm going to talk about that. I need to figure out when the market crashed. This is a piece of information I feel really bad about not knowing off the top of my head. The exact day the market crashed in late October of 1929. On October 24th, Black Thursday. That's when it was. Continue talking. Have I shat my pants in public?
Yeah.
I can't remember shitting my pants when I was out and about. But I had food poisoning once when I lived with some buddies in Sacramento when I was in community college. I went to Burger King in a moment of weakness, and I got a shake. And the shake machines, I've since learned, are the most bacteria-infested of all the fast food restaurant things. They never clean them out. It's dairy, which perishes. By 10 p.m., I was throwing up in the shower. By 3 a.m., I was shitting myself in my sleep. I shat my bed, and I, for some reason, didn't think I was done shitting, so I went out to the couch to sleep, shat the couch. And I had to take my bed, my bedding, the underwear I was sleeping in, and the couch cushions to a very expensive dry cleaner. End of the story, he got it all out. Never underestimate the Filipinos. Next question.
This guy Breezy's been begging me to go back, and I found his question.
Hell yeah.
So he said, I have herpes. Would you clap Riley Reid after me? And his name's Breezy. I don't know if I mentioned that.
I'm assuming he means no condom. No.
So if he fucked Riley Reid and had herpes, you wouldn't fuck Riley Reid.
Riley Reid, I can almost guarantee he's fucked somebody with herpes. There's no way that's happened. She's had too many cocks in her, too many gangbangs. Those STD screenings they do, there's a 3-week lag time on those. And I'm going to bet that those guys, and I've seen some of them, not very reputable, a lot of face tattoos and jewelry. One of those guys has either fucked his stripper girlfriend or shot heroin in the 3-week window after he last got tested. So she probably already has herpes. You putting your needle cock in there with a couple bumps isn't going to make a difference. Yeah, of course I'd fuck her.
Nice. I actually was getting nudes sent to me from this girl, and it turns out that she wasn't real. It's probably like a gay dude or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out because she sent me a clip of her in the bath, but it was actually just Riley Reid's ass with her full back tattoo shown.
Yeah.
And I was like, but you couldn't have picked a more distinguishable porn star.
Yeah. Pick a porn star who has 1 billion views instead of 3 on Pornhub. How about that?
And a giant tattoo down their back. Let's see. Let's get some new ones here. Actually, I need to scroll back up to the middle now.
We're trying to find questions, people. People, sorry.
Danny, we need you to go to an Amish town. That's from Lynn Boy Life. That would be great.
I don't disagree. Somewhere in Pennsylvania, here I come.
That is a fucking great idea. Hey man, big fan since your high school reunion video. My girlfriend recently broke up with me and was just wondering what you recommend to do to cope. Enjoy this 5. That's from Lil Moon.
Thanks, dude. I can't speak too intelligently on this because I had a really hard time after my first girlfriend dumped me. Do you mind putting this on the tripod over here, Austin?
Yeah, I'll do that.
I think it's worth it. So I can look in one direction instead of looking at the camera, then looking at Austin.
You keep going. Just point it at you.
My girlfriend, my first one, she dumped me in April or May of 2012 when I was at UCLA. All the summer I was devastated, and I was still getting ass. I was having sex with other girls. Didn't fill the void. So that's not going to be the answer. If only it were that simple, just to go out and fuck some more ass. And that's if you have the luxury of being able to go out and get laid on a moment's notice, which I did at that point because I went to a college that had a lot of drunk, slutty chicks. Still didn't make me feel better. Worked out all the time, got drunk all the time, didn't make me feel better. The first one is tough, dude. Or just one you care about a lot is tough. The only answer I can give is don't try to reach out to her because it's a pathetic thing and you're not going to get her back. If she dumped you, she's not going to change her mind. Girls just don't. Resist the urge because every time you have contact with her, it's going to reset the clock on your pain. It's going to reset the pain clock. Satan's going to turn over the hourglass of your heart, and it's going to take all that time for the sand to run out on the pain you feel. Avoid contact, wait it out, work on what you're good at and like. I'm not going to say go try to find a replacement chick because I don't think you'll be giving that replacement chick your all. You're not really going to be there for her. You're going to be thinking constantly about your old girl. And it's going to be a transparent effort to bury that hurt. So, to simplify that very roundabout, shitty answer, you just got to deal with it, dude. Don't talk to her anymore. Try to move on, but it's going to be hard.
This guy sent multiple donations to relay the same message for you to, next time you're on PKA, to call Kyle fat. That's from Vavos.
Is that his insecurity?
I suppose so.
Well, Kyle has been a very generous host on a podcast. It's got me a lot of exposure. This guy sent me a lot of super chat money. I'll think about it. Tune into the next PKA.
Are you possibly a deadhead? From
No,
Alexander?
I never got into the Grateful Dead. Never listened to him. Don't hate him. Just never tried it out.
Will Cockford, Danny, do you have a favorite philosopher?
No, I'm not a philosophy guy. I never took philosophy classes in college. I get nothing on that. Sorry. The philosophies that I live by are from Napoleon Hill, who wrote Think and Grow Rich. Entrepreneurs, I hear them on podcasts or I read their books. That's the philosophy I pick up, but it's not philosophy in the academic pacing around a university with a skull sense.
Brandon Faliki said, you make Thursdays much better with your content. I love you.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate that. It's going to keep on. Regular programming will resume next Thursday.
Kyle Mann says, Smith's Oasis are good, but Stone Roses are the best, bro.
I Want to Be Adored keeps coming on my autoplay on Spotify. Spotify wants me to listen to the Stone Roses. I'll get into them, dude. I'll check them out.
Have any of your characters' attitudes been inspired by Gigi Allen, the aggressive, confident miners Gigi a lot in some of your videos?
Gigi Allen is a performance... Gigi Allen, for people who don't know, is a performance artist rock star who was famous for acts such as shoving a banana up his asshole on stage, fighting his fans, cutting himself in the middle of performances. And so, yeah, absolutely, he's influenced me a lot. No, he hasn't. We studied him in college once in one of my communications classes. His deepest ambition in life was to kill himself on stage, but he overdosed on heroin first. It's tragic.
That is pretty tragic.
I
You should have done it on stage.
Maybe I can kill myself on stage. I'll pick up that torch.
Can we get Mr. Danny Mullen contest dick pics?
I don't know what that means. You can't have a dick picture.
I think he wants I think the same guy asked a question earlier that I skimmed by, and he wants like a Danny Mullen channel dick contest. That's what he's asking for, basically.
People have been asking me for that, but the thing is, it'll be over the second I see everybody's penis, because there'll be, I assume, a clear winner. I can't show the penis. So what is there to how can I have a contest here?
I think the only way like it would be funny is if we went to one of those whorehouse places and had like a girl judge.
That would be fun.
Like a reunion to the whorehouse.
That's another video I'm down to sequel. Definitely going back to the whorehouse. If Rat Dick Ralph was still in the crew, I wanted to take him on a head full of acid and let him fuck a prostitute.
This is from Grim Reap 191. Your Yuma video got me to read Blood Meridian. What's your favorite novel?
Hell yes. We were talking about that earlier, the Blood Meridian Yuma connection, how I'm proud of you for reading. My favorite novel of all time changes. I've mentioned a handful of my favorites. Catch-22 by Joseph Heller has got to be one of them. It's hilarious. It influenced my comedy writing, and it's just a good book to read. It's entertaining. It's thought-provoking. It's about life, but the theme of it is not wanting to die, being afraid of death, and hypocrisy, not liking hypocrisy. The Great Gatsby comes to mind, too, as one of my favorites. I like a classic novel that's not for a guy smoking a pipe and wearing a beret. That's for the average people, where if you have a high school education, you can read it and understand it. That's Catch-22. That's The Great Gatsby. The guy who asked the question about losing his girlfriend and being heartbroken, read the fucking Great Gatsby, dude. That'll help you get through that shit. The passages where Gatsby is reflecting on the summer he spent with Daisy when they were together, that's... I don't know what it's like. I don't have an analogy right now. It's like hearing that song where it stirs something in your body and you don't know what it moved. Some ancient part of you just clicked and you're like, I like what I just heard. I like what I just read. And my soul appreciates it too. That's the kind of therapy that it's amazing when you get out of a book or a song. And I got that out of reading The Great Gatsby.
DeLove Doctor 69 all day says, that wasn't Fan Jerry. Clearly a fake with a voice changer. Go on the Dick Show. You have similar humor, and I think you'd be an excellent guest.
The Dick Show sounds up my alley. I don't know what it is. I agree, though. The Fanjerry fake. It's like Paul McCartney being dead in the Beatles. That was a conspiracy that got off the ground for a long time. Fanjerry is dead. Start it up right now. We're going to get a body double for him next video. Next question.
Everything explicit. Can you do a video at a protest on our civil rights? You freed the slaves before, and we need you to free the people again. Also, do a video in New York again.
New York would be good. I'd go right now despite coronavirus. The thing that makes New York really tough to film, no open spaces, no parking, tons of traffic. Everything has to be run and gun on the streets, which is cool, but it's limiting in the type of content we can create. What I like about LA is an hour, 2 hours out of the city, it is wide open spaces, baby. We're in the Salton Sea, Slab City, Barstow, Bakersfield. We have UCLA. We have beaches where you can set up a sniper cam, get long distance footage. You can't do that much in New York. People are going to block the shot. Buildings are going to block the shot. I'm still down to come out. I like my time there. I got to visit Harley. Harley was the guy who housed me last time. He's been in this chat.
We got a few questions about what happened to Rack Dick Ralph. He's currently in jail.
He's incarcerated, and I've been asked, guys, I'm sorry, I'd be honest about it otherwise. I've been asked by a source close to him to not say why.
Crap donation. Okay, Aaron said, crap donation, but I'm going to buy that hoodie you're wearing. Also, how did you get so good at improv, or do you just write things down beforehand?
I write a lot of stuff down beforehand, but he's probably referring to some improv that was actual improv that he liked. I started taking legitimate improv classes once I've gotten down to LA, and they've helped my performance skills so much. Things like song improv that I've started doing now, when I do freestyle rapping, when I'm playing guitar with Gaia in Slab City and we start singing, that's stuff that I never would have had the confidence to do in the past that I've learned through improv. And improv's taught me a ton about comedy, too. It's influenced my written bits and my performance bits. Pattern recognition, things like that are a big part of comedy. I sound so vague and shitty right now. My podcasting skills are gone, speaking of improv at this moment. In improv, you learn about the underlying framework of comedy. You don't learn about that from watching Louis C.K. or watching Bill Burr or watching the original Simpsons. You learn things about jokes, and you learn about what makes you laugh. Improv has given me rules to comedy, and it's helped me so much more than just in me saying funny things that aren't written. I've said funny things that weren't written since I was in college and beyond, I suppose, but improv has been more than just saying funny stuff. It's taught me how to perform better. And I guess I have gotten better at saying funny things, too, for my classes. Next question.
I Pains said, Danny, your vids let me embrace my vulgar mind.
I'm giving you a thumbs up for those listening and not watching.
Sun-gazing Homo sapien. I'm 20.
Sun-gazing loves commenting, dude.
We already. I went back up and I accidentally read it again.
You're forgiven. I thought sun-gazing Homo sapien was just all over the place.
Hunter Rosen just sent a GIF, which I didn't even know you could do.
That's not a donation. Block him.
Oh, it is a donation. It still had money attached.
That's okay. I like him now.
He says thank you.
You're welcome.
I think you might have answered his question. That's what he was saying. Thank you for. Dominic Alexander, thank you for all of the amazing content during these harsh times. I hope your life isn't getting super screwed by modern events like so many others.
It's been good. You people, and that's what's great about doing the kind of comedy I do where there isn't a real alternative to it. The people on Patreon, the people who buy merch, which are the people who keep the channel alive, they've been there for me and the channel regardless of the coronavirus. I didn't think it was going to be like this, but things have been good for me, and it's all thanks to you guys. I think the restrictions placed on our content, the businesses not being open, props taking forever to come, me not having filmers, has helped me. It's made me realize that just going out there and making an effort is good enough. And I've been to these perfectionism stages in my career earlier this spring, last fall, where I thought every video had to have 3 written segments, I had to spend at least $400 on props. The camera quality needed to be perfect. This has been, it's a cliche, but a blessing in disguise for me as a content creator.
My friend Brandon donated and said, "What's up, Austin?" So what's up, Brandon? It's cool to see you're watching.
If he's friends with you, I don't want to be friends with him.
And then Army just said, "Come to the Stress
Oh, the
Factory."
United States Army? The entire branch of the military?
Army 1993.
Stress Factory? That's a comedy club in New Jersey, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what he said in New Jersey.
You like how I knew that? I was listening to Dave Attell on Opie and Anthony recently.
Big brain.
That's how I knew. That's right. I know comedy.
Black Spacer says, "Any music recommendations?" Because, like, for me, I don't know anything about music, so where would you get started if you want to learn good music?
The albums I've mentioned today have been pretty good. I'm trying to think of something digestible to recommend because nothing's worse than, do you have any good books you want me to read? Yeah, read Moby Dick. Yeah, read Dante's Inferno. Have fun untangling ancient Latin translated to English that's presented in cantos. So I want to give people an album they'll put on and not immediately hate and turn off. I'd say listen to Meat is Murder by the Smiths. The first 3 songs in particular. What to look for? Lyrics that are poetic, that the singer and the lyricist, he's not feeling the pressure to conform to pop conventions. The song isn't like an early Beatles song. Ooh, I need your love, babe. He's singing about how shitty his professors were in school. Then he's singing about a fair. And then he's singing about a double bed and a stalwart lover, whatever the hell that means. He doesn't care about writing pop lyrics. But they still move you. They're still poetry, and they're beautiful. And the hooks are a little more subtle. They're not the shit you're going to hear on Top 40 radio where it's immediately like, okay, a Swedish guy was trying to write a hit song. I get it. There's subtlety, there's texture to the music, and it might take 3 or 4 listens before you have the song in your head. But once it's in your head, it's going to be deep in your brain like an insect is wiggled into your ear in your sleep, and you won't be able to get it out. And Morrissey's a great lyricist, and Johnny Marr's a great songwriter. They're the best at what they do. They're some of the best ever. And listening to great music like that is going to inspire you to want to be the best at whatever you do. When I hear Keith Richards playing the guitar, when I hear Freddie Mercury sing, I want to be better at my craft to be on the level that they're at. I don't feel okay with mediocrity when Freddie Mercury's singing and it's late, or when Keith Richards is playing those licks on Tumbling Dice. I'm not okay with turning out shitty comedy when I hear that stuff. Next question.
John O wants to know if you think Elliott Smith actually killed himself or someone else stabbed him.
There's a conspiracy that his girlfriend did it, but there's no real legs on that theory. And I think the evidence of him trying to kill himself after every single album release, doing heroin, drinking every night, every single song he writes is about wanting to kill himself. There aren't songs about dandelions and puppies. I think the circumstantial evidence that he killed himself is compelling.
Zach J said, Dante's Inferno is great. Theme a video around it? ?
It would be a good book to build a video around. I tried to read the Inferno part, because there's the Inferno, and there's one about heaven and one about purgatory. It's a 3-part book. From what I could understand about the Inferno, and again, it's in cantos, which is some weird poetic assembly. Everything's in verse. It's not like reading a Harry Potter novel where it's here's a paragraph, here's a paragraph. It's all arranged strangely. There's references to ancient poets and contemporary historical figures from Dante's Italy. So it's really hard to understand, but I kind of liked what it was talking about. It's talking about dudes getting fucked by demons and lava falling on people's chests. Minotaurs walking around with whips punishing sinners. It doesn't take a genius to figure out how to turn that into a video. I dress up like a bull and I whip Inland Iggy. Next question.
Shrek Ogre said, I know it's over by the Smiths hits hard.
It's a good song. It's off The Queen is Dead. It's a great fucking album. You couldn't go wrong listening to that one either, people.
Daniel Ramirez wants to know if YouTube is shadow banning you.
I don't think so. I've seen no evidence for that. The reason I don't think that's the case is because there are a lot of bigger YouTubers with 1 million, 800,000, 600,000, 500,000 subs, where if you look at their average view count, it's just a little bit higher than mine. Whereas if I think I was shadow banned, my ratio of views to subscribers would mean I'd be getting 20,000, 30,000 views. I still get the views of a lot of bigger YouTubers. So while sometimes I feel like my really good video should be getting more views, I still have it good. It's not bad. YouTube's been treating me fairly. They've only deleted one video, and it was a really old sketch because I was dry humping the girl too sensually, and there was candlelight dinner music playing. That's the only video they've taken down. So really, they have provided a good platform for me.
Ulysses Jimenez said, when Justin Buchholz...
He's a UFC fighter, former UFC fighter.
How do you pronounce it?
Buchholz.
Okay. Opens his gym in Sacramento. Are you going to come get these hands?
Justin Buchholz was my ex-roommate. He was the head coach and a UFC fighter. I lived with him when I lived on Uriah Faber's fighter block when I was in community college. Yeah, I don't really want to go get knocked out by Justin Buchholz, but it'd be cool to film something at his gym, and I'm sure he'd be fucking down. So maybe, yeah, I'll come get those hands.
Snip Dip says, nice necklace. I see you're taking Leo's peacocking advice.
Leo gave me this necklace. I do look so much cooler in a necklace. I'm sorry, man.
I used to wear a gold chain to school every day. Like, I was really fucking cool.
West Side. How many more questions do we have, Asti?
Not too many. I'm on like the lower number ones and the more recent ones. If I skip some, I'm sorry, guys, but there's just a lot. I think I covered most of them.
You think we can wrap in 20 minutes?
Yeah, we can wrap whenever you want to. I can kind of go through these questions pretty quickly.
Do you have an empty water bottle? I got to piss again.
I have a full one, but I accidentally touched the top of it with my dirty hand. So.
You think I'm worried about your hand getting on my penis?
No, I'm just worried about drinking it because I just touched it with my dirty hands. So, I mean, I'm not gonna waste it.
I made out with 2 people in Vegas. I went to the bum camp at Slab City. I'm fine.
I'm not worried about myself. It's my parents, my mom's pre-existing conditions. I can't get her sick.
What, sluttiness? I'm going to piss in this bottle. Continue. I got more room in mine. I don't know why I was making such a big fuss.
Aaron E. says, I sense some tension amongst the crew.
Does he? Does he elaborate?
No, he just says that. I don't really know where he got it from.
That's foreboding. I sense storm clouds gathering now since that comment was made. Fan Jerry's dead, so there can't be any tension with him.
Army 1993 said, when will you be at the Comedy Store?
I go to bed so early that live comedy is not really my jam as far as going out and watching it. But I would like to. I'm not sure if he's asking if I'm going to perform. It's definitely going to be a long time before I perform there. I need to get my ass out to the Comedy Store more is the answer to that question.
What's your Spotify username, and do you have a playlist? It's from Luis Hernandez.
Comedy Store, by the way, people, is the premier stand-up comedy venue in L.A. I do not have a public Spotify playlist. I think there is a playlist I made, but it's all Lamb of God songs because I used it in the sheep fucker bit. I showed it to a manager at a restaurant, and I told it was one of the jokes that I fuck a lot of sheep, therefore I only listen to Lamb of God. Next questy. I don't have a public Spotify playlist. I'm sorry.
What's the favorite book you've read in the last year?
I read a book called White by Bret Easton Ellis about politically correct culture. People such as critics in Hollywood reviewing movies and television shows based on how liberal the ideology was. For instance, a movie about saving the environment automatically gets points. A movie with a black, gay, transgendered, cross-eyed, wheelchair-bound star is going to get a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes regardless of how good the film is. And the author is a gay guy. He's a fucking gay writer, so he's a minority too. But he's tired of the bullshit of how aesthetics don't matter anymore, and all that matters is how many victims are in the film and how strong of a victim narrative you string together. His gripe is that movies about rape victims and about a woman who gets fired from her job and has to start her own company and has to run a marathon and lose weight, and she says fuck you to her ex-boyfriend who's too superficial. Those movies are disproportionately praised in Hollywood versus anything of substance that doesn't kowtow to PC culture.
There seems to be some kind of holy war in the comments about Islam because Ramadan's tomorrow, and someone kept spamming
Yeah, it's
lettering. So
I observe Ramadan. I'm not going to be eating for a month while the sun's up. It's going to be rough.
That's the update on the chat. It's no longer come. It's
Ramadan.
Making fun of Muslim people, apparently.
Hey, that'd be cool. They're Muslim fans.
That I'm not saying. That's just what the people in the chat are saying. They're in a fight against this one dude.
Let's be cool, people. There was one of my buddies I worked with in Vegas was a busser, and he was Muslim, and he fasted for Ramadan. And people in the restaurant, all the employees would get pissed, and him and this other Muslim lady, because in the middle of service, the big time was right when the sun set. So that's when they'd go down and take like a 20, 30-minute paid break that none of the rest of us got, where they just got to chill out and eat food. And when we were slammed, we'd always get pissed at them, but it's not a huge deal. Mo was a nice guy from Mozambique. I'm glad he fasted.
Juliana Calturligio. I butchered that. How would you feel if I told you I have one finger on my dog's butt and the other 9 in mine while watching this video?
She's got 9 fingers in her ass, but the one finger's only on her dog's butt. I'd say put that in and call it a party.
Yeah. Someone said, Danny, I just released the Kraken seriously. That's from Brandon Buckingham.
Let me see if that's the case. That means I'm going somewhere to party with some guy.
You better not be lying.
I think he's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Kraken just got released.
Wait, Brandon, how much did you just...
That's $3,000.
What the fuck, Brandon? That's crazy.
Brandon, you better not be a serial killer. You better not have easy access to roofies because, well, looks like I'm going to some town and I'm drinking with some guy.
Brandon Buckingham is the MVP of this stream. That's insane.
We got to find out more about Brandon Buckingham. We don't have to. I'm going regardless, but I'm curious. Here we go. There's content.
Man.
That's tight. I'm going somewhere. The Kraken just got released. Holy fuck.
That is so crazy.
Yeah. Wow. Well, thank you, Brandon. You paid my rent plus filming expenses for a month. That's for sure. Wow. God damn it. This is a blessed life, Austin.
$3,000.
I would take you out to dinner right now if I didn't have to go to sleep real soon.
We're also too sweaty.
Not for the places around here. This is the hood.
True. Wow. Okay, I guess I'll go to the next question.
Sweet. Thank you, man. Holy fuck.
Snip Dip, with all this YouTube money coming in, I assume you'd already have your own clout house.
It's not that much money. I mean, tonight has been quite lucrative. I'm not going to kid you about that. Living in LA is really expensive, though. I put so much money back into my videos. And YouTube, it's fleeting. I've already gotten a warning on Patreon about nudity. You don't know when they're going to pull the plug. Who knows if YouTube does something similar? I have to save money, too, because I'm terrified that it's all going to dry up. And I was poor for so long, my entire 20s, that I really value money, and I'm terrified of going back to that. So I don't want to be the guy to blow money on a clout house type thing. Though it would be great for content. I'd love it eventually. To fund a house, I probably wouldn't live there myself because I'm a little pussy who likes to go to bed early. Just move in a bunch of degenerates, though, and be there once a day. Hire somebody like Austin or Nico to film every day. Then have an editor to put all those clips together. And then just me still edit my one big video on the weekend. Have a Danny Mullen daily channel and then just a regular Danny Mullen channel for the main videos. The potential, it's there. Next question.
The chat caught up to the Kraken. That was
that's
pretty
nuts.
intense.
I still can barely process that. Holy fuck.
Brian wants you to flip him off.
Hey, Brian, go fuck yourself, okay, kid?
Evan Zito, Danny, I post your clips on TikTok and they got mad views.
That's probably the dyslexia guy. Some dude has been posting all of my shit on TikTok. And at first I was pissed that I reported it. But then I realized when one of those videos went viral, I got 8,000 subscribers on YouTube in one day. And I tried to unsend my report. And I immediately felt much more warm and fuzzy about that guy. And now I don't care because he's got my name, All Hail Danny Mullen, in his description. And he tags me in all the comments. So it's good for me, too. And I don't have to be one of the idiots on TikTok.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you would be on there for self-promotion, and he's already promoting you, so what's the difference?
It's cool. I mean, I still have my own now, and I post clips every now and then when I have them. But he did the work for me and got me the benefits of having a TikTok platform without me doing anything.
Kelly Man wants to know how you got into the Smiths since they weren't very big in the U.S.
This band I loved in high school, I've mentioned them once. They were called Brand New. And their singer, if you look him up, his name's Jesse Lacey. On the first two albums, he looks almost identical to Morrissey. And you can tell he goes out of his way to look like Morrissey. Like some people would accuse me of looking like Julian Casablancas because I have long hair. He's got as similar of a facial structure to Morrissey as I do to Julian. And then he played a live performance where he had High Mo's, which is Morrissey's nickname, written on his guitar. He had lyrics about the Smiths and the Morrissey. He's got a lyric, and I hate the way you always criticize the Smiths and Morrissey. And I was like, Morrissey, that's an interesting name. And I started listening to their shit, and I didn't get it at first because it was too intellectual. There weren't any immediately accessible melodies. And it was probably 10 years from the first time I listened to the album The Queen is Dead until I re-listened to it, and I understood this is genius. This is great. This is about as good as music gets. That was last year that I really got into him, 2019. Next question.
This is from Parker Woot. He might be one of the guys who did the parade with you. He just sent a big dono, and he said...
Parker Woot, wow.
He said, since COVID... Do you recognize him?
No, it's a funny name to say, but I'm glad he was in the parade with me. He's a strong man.
He said, since COVID killed another parade, we sending it anyway? ?
We make our own parade, Woot. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to be back up in Sacramento soon. I had a great fucking video planned to shoot in Sac, and then COVID came in and shattered everything. There are a lot of scripts I have written that require open businesses, open schools, and they're on the shelves now. But I'll be up there soon before the COVID quarantine's over filming vlog videos. So Parker Wu, right?
Parker Wu.
I don't want to misname the guy. You'll be part of it. So can that asshole from Sac State. He can get out there too.
John Geisler. Hey, Danny, I hope you remember me. I worked at that coffee shop in North Cal.
Which coffee shop? Well, I guess we can't really ask him in real time, can we?
If you say it in the chat, guy, real quick, I'll kind of keep one of my eyes on it. And see.
I'm curious. He might mean the one by my parents' house. There's a Starbucks where these two kids work who are fans of the channel casually. And I always go in there to write when I'm home. I like to write and edit sometimes, not in my bedroom or house. I need to change the scenery. Because what I do is so repetitive. Every day I stare into a computer screen. So if the 4 or 5 walls around me are different, it makes it feel like I'm not doing the same thing. I change up my coffee shops. I go to UCLA to work a lot. I work outside sometimes. And it's been tough to do that since COVID rolled through. Locked down in this house unless we're filming. Next question.
Hunter Rosen said, Danny, we should get crossed and film funny skits.
More skits. Sure, dude. As long as we post them on TikTok.
Wow, another big dono from Army 1993,
Holy
bro. The
shit.
U.S. Army likes you.
The U.S. Army knows I'm driving recruits. I keep recommending these military books. The Jocko Willink one.
He said, Danny, I train under Gary Tonin.
Tonin. He's a grappling legend. My buddy, Dustin Akbari, lost to him in a tournament. I think Dustin has one win over him, too. Continue.
And Gordon Ryan, can we roll if you come to Jersey?
Well, leg locks, I'm going to say this now publicly, are my kryptonite. You see these big paddles? These skinny-ankled, size 12, flat-footed, bony messes? These, Austin, are the easiest feet on the planet to throw into a leg lock. My knees are just as knobby, very susceptible to heel hooks. And this guy training under Gary Tonin and Gordon Ryan means he's very, very skilled in leg lock art. And it means I'm not going to do as well as I did against you with this guy. So, no, I'm not going to be up there.
Do certain people have, like, better body shapes just by luck for, like, jiu-jitsu?
The great thing about jiu-jitsu is it's not like being a linebacker in football where you need to be 6 feet tall and 250 pounds ripped. Jiu-jitsu, you can make a short, stubby physique work. You're going to be more of a choke guy, more of a back take guy. Or you can make a long, lanky physique work like me. I was a guard guy. I fought off my back and I threw up triangle chokes and swept people. It's nice. It's like a role-playing game. You can be an elf. You can be a dwarf. You can be a dragon. And that's why I loved it so much. It's not like basketball. Basketball, you need to be 6'10" in black. Jiu-jitsu, you can be whatever you want to be.
Or 9 feet in Chinese.
You can be like a fat guy in jiu-jitsu, and you can have fat guy game. Or you can be a big athletic dude in jiu-jitsu, and then you're going to be even that much more of a beast. But people are going to be able to derail you with strategy. If they're better than you. If they're more strategic. Next question.
Nerdballer TV sent you $100. And
Dude.
He said this $100 is real, I promise.
Oh, dude, I love Nerdballer. Nerdballer, you guys got to check out. He just did a video with me, Spin the Wheel. It's up. I didn't want to promote it too much. Nerdballer, Lorenzo's his name, because I have a girlfriend now, and we were on the ropes a little bit because I just put out the hottest fan contest, and she wasn't happy. I didn't think showing her that Spin the Wheel video on Instagram would make things any better. Nerdballer, though, he's appeared in my That's Racist video. He appeared in my Texas Tesla video, and I hear the state of Texas is open to business once again, meaning we can film shit more easily, meaning I need to get my ass on a plane to go see Lorenzo.
Parker gave us a follow-up with another big dono. He said, "Aight, bro, sounds good. Also, you can tell Nico he's a simp and text me thanks." So he is one of the guys that did the parade. Video.
Fuck yeah, man.
Right on. That video is legendary.
The coffee shop where we met, they all recognize me and know me. I guess they were bracing for total chaos. They thought we were going to meet in that parking lot. Some background, people. I got a bunch of fans out, and we marched in a parade. We were waving offensive signs, yelling offensive things through megaphones. We rallied, though. We met originally in a Starbucks parking lot, and I put out stories on all my social, hey, meet in this Starbucks parking lot in Orangevale, California. The Starbucks caught wind of that before we actually met, and they thought we were going to fucking break the glass and have a riot and just destroy their business. So my channel is infamous at this one Starbucks, and I can't go back there anymore.
Gavin Swanson wants to know what happened to the Chinaman that used to be in your videos.
Ken was in the Thanksgiving video. He's in the chewing tobacco appearance. He has political ambitions. He knows Andrew Yang. That's the only thing I know about his political career. I was going to set off a list there. He's into cryptocurrency. He knows movers and shit. He's a well put together, smart guy. And it's funny, at the time, I didn't realize how much of an asset to the crew he was. The comments he makes and the jokes he makes in the videos when he's my sidekick are fucking hilarious. And he's so unassuming, just this Asian guy who looks like an MBA type, and he is. Him being part of the crew, I really wish I would have squeezed the juice out of that more. He's going to come back, though. Even if he's not going as crazy as he used to be because he has a career now, we're going to get him back and we're going to do something that he's down to do because I love Ken. He was a great fucking asset.
Tan Watson wants to know your thoughts on Alex Jones.
I like anybody that the mainstream media hates and who's a rebel. That's why I like Trump. I used to be afraid to say I liked Trump because it was so taboo and, oh, you can't say that. It doesn't automatically mean I'm a member of the Nazi party because I think the guy's fucking hilarious. Everybody hates him. Everybody attacks him constantly. He doesn't give a shit. He tells him to go fuck himself. He throws up the dual middle fingers and he does his job. If I ran into Trump, and this is the ultimate indicator that I like the guy, I would be shaking his hand, telling him I think he's fucking hilarious, drinking with him. Well, he doesn't drink. Chasing chicks. I like the guy. And I just recently thought that in the shower. I was like, I should admit publicly that I think Trump is fucking tight. And I'd party with the guy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big Trump guy.
I like him because when these companies like Google, like Patreon, try to shut down free speech and fuck with creators, Trump threatens them on Twitter. He says, we're going to do an investigation. They're censoring. Somebody's got to stand up for creators like us. He's a kindred spirit. He's a rogue. I like the guy.
When I filmed your first comedy show, there was a comedian that was on stage, and he was like, are any of you in here actually Trump supporters? And I let out a whoop.
Hell yeah.
And it was like really funny. And then this guy in the back of the crowd, I don't know if you remember this, but he said, fuck you, or something like that.
Norm Macdonald said it best. Norm Macdonald's an apolitical comedian. I'm an apolitical comedian. You'll never see a video of me telling people to vote a certain way. I don't like Trump's politics. I like Trump as a guy. I don't even really like him as a guy. I just think he's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
What Norm Macdonald said, though, is that as a comedian, going up on stage and telling Trump jokes and saying you don't like Trump isn't a worldview. It's not a unique comic perspective. You're getting a little saliva on the tip of your finger, sensing, oh, so Jimmy Kimmel, Fallon, The Daily Show, SNL, all these other programs, it's clearly in vogue right now to hate Trump, so I'm going to do that too. It's like this. Think of it like this, people. In 2001, after the terror attacks of September 11th, the cool thing to do was to hate Muslims. If you didn't have a fucking flag on your front lawn and you weren't saying, let's kill towel heads, you were a piece of shit. And that didn't age very well, did it? Looking back now, everybody was a fucking bigot back then. Even the left was on board with that. Right now, anybody who says automatically if you're a Republican or a Trump supporter, you're a piece of shit, time will show that they're being irrational too.
We got a lot of Trumpers in the chat, so I think they agree with you for sure.
Yeah. Be fucking balanced and think for yourself. 9/11 and the invasion of Iraq were not fucking... Our retaliation to 9/11 was not great. We just went in there and tried to try out our new military tactics, and I did read a book on this, people, so I'm infallible. There was very hasty planning. We had no pull-out program or no plan